Hey everyone, I hope you had a good Christmas and a great New Year. I know I did for Christmas. I got this awesome PlayStation remastered console thingamajigger. We'll see if it works good. I've heard some different stories, but who knows. But talking about the new year, this is what I want to talk about with this year 2021, going into it, you as a new investor. And I think back when I was a new investor, when I first went onto Robinhood, I had no idea what I was doing. And I do recommend Robinhood for new investors. Do I think you should stay on there and build huge portfolios? Not necessarily, but to kind of learn how to trade, how to buy things, how to just buy stock and sell stock, yeah, it's okay to use. I still use Robinhood today. I have a very active portfolio on Robinhood. But going into 2021 as an investor, as a new investor, here's some do's and don'ts. The first big do I would say is become obsessed with investing. Become obsessed with buying into companies. Even when you invest into Pepsi, say you buy a Pepsi to drink, you buy a t-shirt, you have that. It's almost like you're paying yourself. Think of it that way. That really helped me in the beginning. Be obsessed with retiring in your 40s, before your 40s, who knows? That's very achievable. I literally started a Robinhood account with $5. And in 1 year, I went up to $5,000 just in that 1 year. And I didn't put thousands of dollars in it. I just took steps. I found people to listen to. I found the right people to listen to. I learned what kind of investor I was, what kind of risk I was willing to take, what kind of risk I could afford to take. So why I want to say Robinhood? Because Robinhood is the main investment tool that people go to. It's the main platform. Most people that have no idea about the stock market usually go to Robinhood because it's easy to understand. And that's the one I want to focus on with this video. But here's some things that I've learned being on Robinhood that you don't want to do and you want to avoid. So one major thing on Robinhood that you will see as a new user or old user. Old users know this by now. New users, new to the stock market, new on Robinhood, here's something that you can get a lot of trouble with. On the recommended stocks that people are buying, that doesn't mean that you should pour money into that. Usually that means something is going on with that stock at that time. It's either being sold at high volume due to day trading, there's some kind of active news in it, good or bad, but that doesn't mean that's something that you need to go, oh, I need to pour money into this. I can't tell you how many times I fell for that as a new investor, seeing something that was recommended, seeing something that was, you know, the top 10 stocks at that moment, and just bought into it not knowing what it was. When you're on Robinhood and you're looking at a company, you're looking at their stock portfolio, them as a company, what they are, their little basis right there at the bottom. That is a slight paragraph of what that company is and what they do. I highly recommend that you look up that company just as a general basis and see what they do, where they're located, and for God's sakes, do they have cash in hand? Are they in debt? If you can find information, if they've had a reverse split lately, just basic things. Another very key important thing to know if you're new on Robinhood. Robinhood is delayed about 15 minutes for the time you are seeing of that stock. So if a stock says $10 at that point, that means it was $10 15 minutes ago. It could be $10.50 right now. This is a very key thing to know if you are active on Robinhood a lot. Which leads me into how you're buying stock. If you go to any stock, you click on buy, then you go up to shares. Then you have all your different buying patterns you want to do on here. Anytime I'm buying a stock, I always hit limit order. I put in how much price I'm willing to pay for that stock. I hit it in. I always hit extended hours, whether you want it for 6 p.m. that day, which that's when Robinhood stops trading, or if you're willing to be able to buy that stock up to 90 days, how many shares you want, and then you hit review, and there you go. It's pretty much vice versa if you're wanting to sell stock. Go into something you have, you would go to trade, you would go to sell, you would hit a stop order. Put in how much you want to sell this stock for, all the same patterns, and pretty much there you go. So as a new investor, or an investor that's really wanting to take 2021 really serious and do a lot more, I know I am. I truly believe the new generation of investors are a lot more in tune with investing today due to the fact that they have so much information in hand. The last 5 years of investing has been in the technology path of the stock market. Now we are seeing the renewable energy stocks really take off in this generation of investors. And especially with a Biden ran America, this is what Biden is going to be doing with his term as president. He's focusing on renewable energy. He's focusing on the EV market. He's focusing on the health market, the cannabis market. These are things that as an investor you, your neighbor, are going to be looking at and investing a lot of money in, especially at the beginning of 2021. These next 2 months are going to be so crucial as an investor, as a new investor, an old investor, or you're just getting back into it. If you are a new investor on Robinhood, here's one little thing I want to warn you of. If you see these companies that have stock share prices for 19 cents, for 50 cents, be very careful. Here's something, a quick little tip that no one told me. Sure, you can go in and buy 1,000 shares of this for about $100, but what you have to know with these companies that have these shares that are so cheap, things are not going well. They've probably had multiple reverse splits, which a reverse split is not good. Second, a stock has to stay a certain price to stay a stock. So usually when people go in and they buy large quantities of this, they usually lose out on all their money because the stock continues to go down and then a reverse split happens. So I would be very careful of buying anything that's in the penny zone. And of course Robinhood does the whole send a friend a stock, which you get a stock, they get a stock. Nothing crazy, but hey, it's a fun little $4 to $7 thing you might get. It gets people interacting and to understand holding a stock. You have to think there's people that have never even held one stock of something. It's a very special moment. So friends, in wrapping up this video, I'm kind of making this the part 1. I can make more videos just talking about more Robinhood stuff and investing as a new investor. I like to keep my videos short because I like watching short videos myself. But of course, there's a lot more we could talk about here. So when it comes to actually investing as a new investor, I myself have a ton of videos you can watch on stocks that I invest in, I recommend investing in, but you're always going to have your stocks where you're buying into them and hoping that they turn into something. Companies that are making their way up right now. But you're always going to have your hardy stocks like Pepsi, like Walmart, Tesla, Apple. These household names that are always going to kind of be there and that are really always going to bring you in money. And just something that you can hold your money in if you're not wanting it in a bank account. But if you guys want to know more information about Robinhood, trust me, there's plenty. I'll definitely make a part 2. I would love to. But guys, be positive, be you, and do not be afraid to invest. It's a very fun thing, and it can be a very rewarding project, let me tell you. Talk to you soon, and God bless.